Wife divorced me for her wealthy lover, but when he lost everything, she wanted me back. I'm a 32-year-old man and have been married to my 27-year-old wife for nearly 6 years. We have been together for 8 years and 3 months. We have been living together for 7 years now. It was, in my opinion, always fantastic. I truly believe we were the ideal couple. We both have cars, good jobs, stable finances, and purchased a home 5 years ago. My mother died of a heart attack in February 2022, which was extremely unexpected. The months that followed were difficult for both me and my wife, who was also very close to my mother. And by rough, I mean very rough. We only went out about twice in 6 months. We mostly stayed at home, relaxing on the couch and watching television. I wasn't happy due to the circumstances, but I expected us to get through it. My wife went out drinking with 3 male co-workers about 5 minutes away from our home. I said, "Okay, but I'm going to bed soon." She came home in the middle of the night with 3 guys, all of whom I know, and announced that she was going out in the city with them. I disliked it but couldn't stop her. She came home really late. That's when my suspicions began, despite the fact that I'd never mistrust her before this night. She left the entire Sunday 4 weeks ago, saying she was going to a carnival with her mother. I didn't trust it, but what can you do? She even left without saying goodbye as I was taking a shower. Later that day, when she returned home, she burst into tears. My first reaction was, "Honey, what happened? Did something happen? What's made you so upset?" Her first words at that point were, "I want a divorce." After that, we had a brief discussion, both of which were very emotional. I asked her straight up if she had cheated, and she said no. She told me she'd been unhappy for a long time, which led to the divorce. She had never told me anything was wrong with our relationship, so this came as a complete surprise to me. Anyway, after the conversation, she left and now lives at her mother's house. I saw her again 4 days later because we had a dog that I couldn't care for alone, and she couldn't either at her mother's house, so now our dog stays at an aunt's house. Anyway, because I saw her, I confronted her about cheating again, and this time she confessed. She told me she cheated on me for the entire week, from the time she went drinking until she left home the following week. She said she thinks she's in love with him. When I asked what she liked about him, all she said was that we have a good connection/spark. So that's it, I suppose. She also stated that she believes she is experiencing a midlife crisis. She is unsure of what to do with her life and what she wants. In my opinion, she's going insane. She died. I'm not sure if this is the correct word. Is her hair purple? And out of nowhere, she signed up for motorcycle driving lessons. The first week, or maybe 2 weeks after, I tried reconciling, if that's the right word, but she wouldn't move. Every serious message I sent her was promptly ignored. Casual messages do get a response, but they are short and arrogant, I guess. I honestly don't recognize my wife anymore. Her personality appears to have changed in just 1 week. She is treating me as if I never existed in her life, and that I am some kind of garbage. Is this some kind of defense mechanism to make things easier for her by pushing her problems into the future? Or is it possible that she has changed and now feels this way? How is this possible? I mean, I understand that falling in love is an amazing feeling, but what happens in a few months when the honeymoon period with this guy is over and she truly wakes up from it all? I've been having a lot of mixed feelings. Really a lot. I resent her for cheating on me, and I'm incredibly disappointed. But I also recognize and understand that the foundation of our marriage has always been strong. She has yet to file for divorce, and neither have I. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure she's still seeing the guy she cheated on me with. To be honest, I am torn between saving our marriage and ending it. At the moment, I don't care if we get back together or divorce, so I really don't know what to do. If I file for divorce now, I may come to regret it later for moving too quickly. But I also can't keep living in this state of limbo where I'm officially still married but she's already left. For the first 4 days after she left, I wasn't sure if she was cheating on me. Those were the worst days because I felt so guilty and like I had messed up. But once she admitted to cheating, those feelings began to fade. And while I may have contributed to our divorce, it is entirely her fault. She never showed me she wasn't happy. She looked happy, would make a good actress, and never mentioned being unhappy or what needed to change. And to top it off, she cheated and continues to do so. This is finished. I no longer believe there is a way back from this. At the moment, I don't even miss her. Sure, I miss who and what we were as the next guy whose heart she will inevitably break. To be honest, I'm dealing quite well with my mother's passing. Of course, I have other concerns at the moment, but still. I was really just crawling back up, wanting to go outside, have drinks, have fun, ride my motorcycle, and so on. But then she cheated and kicked me back into the ravine, so to speak. It will be fine in time. I must admit, I am not looking forward to the holidays. No mom, no wife. My father is alone after 40 years of marriage. But we will deal with it. Life goes on. Fortunately, I have a very sweet sister and a very good group of friends whom I have known for over 20 years. I'm not ready to go back to being single, but I'm also a little excited. It's been over 8 years since I dated. It's been more than 8 years since I went out without consulting my partner. Of course, I fell as deep as possible this year, but I truly believe there will be better times ahead. I was 26 when we married and she was 21. I haven't changed much in those years, but it's possible that she has changed significantly and has suppressed those feelings for quite some time. It's worth noting that she has admitted to experiencing a midlife crisis. These are her words, not mine. Sometimes I think I miss her. I love the way she speaks, walks, and laughs. I adore her looks. I loved how she always sneezed 8 to 10 times in a row. But as of right now, all of those feelings are quickly fading. I made some calls yesterday. In the Netherlands, we have something known as a mediator. They handle every aspect of divorce. So this mediator handles the lawyer's work, including financial and emotional issues. It's like an all-around person who assists two people in arranging their divorce. Today we spoke with this mediator. Unfortunately, my soon-to-be ex's car broke down and I had to pick her up, and yes, I did have to. To make this work and get the divorce through this mediator, both me and my soon-to-be ex must attend the meetings with him. Anyway, the talk went well and as expected. We both expressed our desire to get divorced, but the infidelity was never mentioned. This mediator is neutral and does not take sides, so I didn't think it was worth mentioning. In the Netherlands, there are no laws against cheating, so she has the same rights as if she hadn't cheated. So after the mediator left, we were still sitting at the table, barely talking. The only distraction we have are our cats running around. So after a few minutes, I asked if she has anything else to say, to which she replied no, so I said, "Okay, I think you can leave now because I don't want you here." She asked if I could take her home. I said no, how you get home is your own problem, and I'm not in the mood to drive you 30 minutes home. After that, she looked a little emotional. I believe she expected me to drive her home, as I had always done for her. So she called her mother, who will pick her up in about an hour. She has left the house, and she has told me that I will go for a walk for about an hour until my mother arrives to pick me up. She continued to look hurt and emotional as she left. But while I'm staying strong, I'm noticing a lot of strange behavior on her part, and I believe she's still in the affair fog. Despite everything, I still love her for who she was, but for the time being, I'm staying strong and treating her as if she means nothing to me. Actually, she means nothing to me right now. She is simply no longer the woman I loved and remained loyal to. I have a question, but it requires some backstory. For the past 11 years, I've worked as a driver for a transportation company called Supertrends. I quit that job 4 months ago and started a new one with another transportation company. I started working at Supertrends about 1 year ago. She works at the office and I was a driver. I also know her affair partner who works in the warehouse at Supertrends. Because I've worked there for 11 years, I know everyone who works in the Supertrends office. Everyone liked me and I was close friends with some of the dispatchers. As far as I know, my previous coworkers and her current coworkers are aware that we are divorcing. But as far as I know, no one knows that she is having an affair with him, who works in their warehouse. My direct coworker, who works at the desk next to her, is a 32-year-old gay man who was also present on the night my wife cheated. I'll call him Thomas. However, he left early. He was one of my favorite people at their office and he really liked me. My boss is currently on vacation and will return to work next Monday. I know Thomas likes me a lot and wishes only the best for me. I am now seriously considering sending a message to Thomas, explaining what happened and all. Of course, there is also the matter of telling him about the affair. I just want to warn him that my wife has no morals and cannot be trusted. I mean, Thomas has to work with her every day, so I want him to understand the type of person my wife is, and I intend to tell him who the affair partner is, because Thomas was also out with them the night we cheated. So I want Thomas to understand how immoral the affair partner is, And yes, I understand that this may appear to be an attempt at vengeance. And I guess I do. This woman put me through hell a few weeks ago. I'd love to hear about her having a bad day at work next Monday because her coworkers know she betrayed me and has an affair. Everyone liked me, and I've known the majority of her office for over a decade. Furthermore, I have the option of telling or not telling anyone about her cheating. So basically, this is not a question. Should I do this? But I believe I have already made up my mind. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it and why I should or shouldn't. You have all been a huge help in my situation. I must admit that I am mentally exhausted, but other than that, I am doing better than I could have expected after only 6 weeks. I have a question regarding my soon-to-be ex-wife's current behavior. Is it normal for my wife, soon-to-be ex, to treat everyone around her like trash, except for her affair partner and her parents, I suppose? She is obviously mistreating me. She has no respect for me and treats me as if I am the worst husband ever. She claims she's been unhappy for several years, which I think is complete nonsense. Anyway, to be honest, I don't care what she does to me anymore. She is destroying her own life, not mine. However, it has an impact on others as well. My father sent her the sweetest message he'd ever sent, and she didn't even respond with a thank you, just nothing. After my mother died in February of last year, my wife would regularly take my father to a nearby amusement park. They both have subscriptions, so they could go quite frequently. My father adored her, and I can see him getting older by the hour. This really hurts me. And my soon-to-be ex-wife does not even send a thank you. Nothing at all. She left him unread. She was also very good friends with my younger sister and said she wanted to stay that way, but they haven't spoken in a few weeks. Also, my wife was supposed to spend the day today with her best friend, who is a mutual friend of ours, but she has now ignored her. Her best friend sent her several messages yesterday asking if today was still on, but my wife did not respond, did not even read her messages. She also didn't answer the phone, so they had planned to meet today. The same story. She doesn't answer the phone. Her best friend sent her one more message asking if she was still coming. No response. She didn't even read the messages, and her WhatsApp status shows that she was online after sending them. Needless to say, her best friend has been crying all day. She took the day off to go shopping and have fun with my wife. And now what? Is this typical behavior for someone in a fair fog, or could it be something else? I don't care what my wife is doing. I am done with her. But this is incredibly sad for her best friend. She's been crying on her couch all day because my wife mistreats her. While I'm typing this, another question comes to mind, but I believe I already have the answer. My soon-to-be ex-wife is telling everyone we broke up because we grew apart, and she hasn't been happy in years. I suppose this is normal behavior for a cheater. To make excuses and not be open about what happened and how they fell in love with someone else. Oh, I almost forgot something very important. Her best friend, a mutual friend, actually lived with us for 6 months, from November 2021 to April 2022. She had just gotten out of a bad relationship and had nowhere to live. We had an extra room, so we took her in. Anyway, my wife and her friend are literally discussing everything. This includes our relationship and life. Everything. I speak with her friend every day, and she has been extremely sweet and candid with me. I asked her if anything my wife had said about being unhappy with me for an extended period of time was true. Her friend claims it's all lies. So my wife has never mentioned it to her, nor has she expressed any displeasure with me. Keep in mind that they told each other everything, but not one word about being unhappy. So I'm not sure why my soon-to-be ex-wife is lying now, but it could be to justify her cheating on me and abandoning our marriage. Perhaps she kept her unhappiness hidden from everyone except herself. I honestly don't know, but in my experience, I've never seen her unhappy with me, and my best friend agrees. Many thanks again, everyone. Your help has been invaluable, and I would not be where I am today without it. While I sincerely hope that karma hits her hard sooner rather than later. Also, when people ask me why we're getting divorced, I tell them the truth about her being a selfish cheater. Just yesterday, a female friend showed me texts between my wife and herself. The conversation went something like this: "Oh my God, honey, is it true that you and your husband are separated? Sadly, this is the truth. Oh my God, know what happened? Yeah, we've grown apart over the last few years and have different life goals. We decided to end it. Needless to say, I corrected this and informed our friend that this is not true. I told her that my wife cheated on me, fell in love, and left me for another man. Everyone who finds out the truth from me is shocked. Nobody, including me, expected my wife to do this. I believe I will make a new post in a few weeks. For now, I'm fine. When I realized she was out there living her life without me, I began doing the same. I spoke with my soon-to-be ex-wife several times, and the conclusion appeared to be that she still loved me, but it wasn't fun anymore. Not surprising considering my mother died unexpectedly in February. She claims to be in love with a fair partner, but without any strings attached. I never noticed that she was unhappy with me, and she even stated that she was unhappy with life in general. So what I believe happened is that she cheated, developed feelings for a fair partner, and abandoned me for him. After that became clear, I decided to let her go and focus on myself. At this point, I don't care what she's doing or if she'll return, I am fine either way. Work is going well. I joined a gym and have been going 3 times a week. My muscles hurt, and I've been talking to this amazing girl I've known since childhood. And even though it is only friendship, I am grateful to have a female friend with whom I front row. She lost her father last year, so we can all relate to the topic of parent loss. So yeah, I'm fine. Regarding the divorce, we had to gather a large number of documents, which were then sent to this mediator. We are now waiting to hear from him before scheduling our next meeting and moving forward with the divorce. As of now, I've decided that the divorce is going to happen. Whether or not the soon-to-be ex-wife returns, divorce is inevitable because the marriage is undoubtedly over. We'll sign our divorce papers and make it official 4 days from today. This is going to be a long post because I haven't updated in about 4 months. So I made some mistakes along the way, but I also made moves that restored my power and made me respect myself again. For starters, 5 months after the tie and the initial shock, I rarely think about the cheating or feel affected by it. So, if you are going through a difficult time, please know that things will improve and that time is on your side. So following the cheating and our breakup, I made mistakes. I begged and pleaded, became angry, frustrated, and felt completely out of control, as if she had lost her mind. This lasted about 2 months, unfortunately. After this period, I decided to stop whining. I told her that after much thought, I had decided that I would still be open to seeing and talking to her. I told her I thought there might be a future for us, but I couldn't guarantee anything. I have not contacted her in the last 3 months, at least not about casual topics or the relationship. I only contacted you about our upcoming divorce, financial situation, and mutual house. I did not just sit around and wait for the past 3 months. I'm 32 years old, and for the first time in my life, I went to the gym to work out. Muscle building, to be precise, as I've always been on the thin side. I've been hitting the gym with complete discipline. I train 4 times per week and have done so for the past 3 months. I'm also seeing an improvement in my muscle and aesthetics, but it goes deeper. The gym not only improves my physical appearance, but also helps me mentally. At first I began working out to keep myself busy and distracted, but 3 months later I look and feel much better about myself. I'm regaining confidence that I didn't know I had. So, pro tip of the day: when you're going through a difficult time, the gym seems to help both physically and mentally. Regarding our shared house, I spoke with the bank and I'm able to lend more money and take on a larger mortgage. I have to pay my ex-wife about $65,000 for the house, but I can do so. After signing everything and paying her, I will be the sole owner of the mutual house, which is worth around $300,000. I'm not thrilled about having to pay her $65,000, but in the long run, I'd be much better off owning my own home, which is worth roughly 5 times that amount. In addition, she no longer owns her own house. She officially lives with her mother again, but I know she also spends a lot of time at a fair partner's house. I'm not contacting her, so how do I know? I'll get to it. My ex and I have a mutual friend. We never hang out together, but we do speak on a regular basis. As far as I know, ex left me to be with a fair partner and immediately began a new relationship. I'm not sure what's going on with my ex, and at times it appears she's lost her mind. I try to keep my thoughts away from her, but sometimes they wander where they shouldn't. Also, at the moment, I suppose I could refer to a fair partner as boyfriend, because that is essentially what he is now. However, I will stick with a fair partner because that is how it began. Anyway, what about a fair partner and his ex-wife? Karma is a tramp, and it is beginning to hit hard. When X and him first met 5 months ago, everything seemed fine for them. However, the tables are starting to turn. He is currently at home suffering from depression, which I know for a fact because mutual friends sent me screenshots of a conversation between ex-wife and her. Also, he is currently out of work. Even when the cheating first occurred, I always felt better than him simply because of his lack of morals, and I had already concluded that he was worthless in comparison to me. So now I know for sure. This makes me feel like my ex-wife has gone insane. I am not arrogant, but I am certain that I am the catch and a far superior man than her affair partner. A little extra, at the start of their relationship, I was still contacting and warning her. Well, I guess I was correct all along. Not only does he prove to be the loser I suspected he was, he also introduced something into her life that could destroy her. She's basically digging her own grave. He introduced her to harsh medications. I discovered this through a mutual friend. I haven't discussed this with my ex-wife. If she wants to ruin her own life, that is her choice. However, things appear to be rapidly deteriorating, so my ex-wife is undoubtedly struggling and may even be questioning her own decisions. I hadn't spoken to or seen her over the holidays, including Christmas and New Year's. However, about a week into the new year 2023, she unexpectedly texted me asking if I was home and if she could come over. She came over to my house, and the visit lasted only about 5 minutes. She came by to tell me she had spent Christmas Day alone, sobbing. She wanted to know how my holidays had gone and how I was doing. I told her that my Christmas was okay, but not the best. I lost my mother last year, and these were my first holidays without her, so they were okay but not particularly memorable. But I did tell her I was doing great, and I am. So for me, this was strange. The only thing that comes to mind about this entire visit and why she cares about how I'm doing is whether she has any regrets. Time will tell. I also spoke with my ex's mother. My ex-mother-in-law called me after the new year to wish me a happy new year and all the best. I must admit that I did not expect that call, but it was nice to hear from her because she had been a part of our family for the past 8 years. My mother-in-law informed me that my ex-wife hasn't been doing so well lately. Apparently, she is very sad and crying a lot because she is mourning her marriage. Ex even said to mother-in-law, "I wish it didn't have to be like this." And once again, this suggests to me that she is having second thoughts. However, only my ex has the ability to reach out and make a move, which I do not anticipate happening at this time. The only power I have is to grant her the divorce she requested, then walk away and leave her life. So I did. I am removing myself from her life, divorcing her, and improving myself every day. I apologize for the lengthy post, but I believe this covers everything I needed to say. We will sign the divorce papers 4 days from now. And even though I am doing well, I am still only human and occasionally mourn our marriage and my ex-wife. I'm sorry to see what's happened to her, but I'm also aware that it's beyond my control and not my problem. Finally, I'd like to thank everyone in this community. Too many thanks. Without your assistance, I would not be where I am today, both mental and physical.
Did you hear? I heard that Ben keeps a hamster in his office drawer, but no one has noticed because he is super quiet. He takes him out for walks during his lunch break.